Okay, so I'm just gonna do this real quick. Starting with the corners, when you do a Yperm, you switch these two corners, the top back and the top front. The one in the back is the buffer, and the one in the front is the swap spot. So you look in the buffer, and you ask yourself, where does this need to go? For example, let's say it needs to go to W. That's this one down here on the bottom. The setup move for this is pretty easy. You just set it up so that this one, the destination, goes into the swap spot, like this. Now the W is here, and now you make the swap with a Yperm between these two. And then you undo your setup move. Now this piece has swapped with this piece. In the process, you might notice that the two edges have swapped of the Yperm. Shut up, Palmer. Okay, now let's try to apply that to edges. This one will be the buffer edge. This one is the buffer edge, and this one is the swap spot. So this one is going to come here. So you look in the buffer, which is this one in the back, and you ask yourself, where does this need to go? Let's say, for example, it needs to go to V. That's this one here on the bottom. That's V, U, V. So I need to bring this piece down here, up to here, to the swap spot, so I can make the swap, and then bring it back. That's pretty easy. I just slice this layer, so now the V is up here. I make the swap between these two. Those two have swapped. And then I bring the V back down by undoing the setup move. So now obviously the two corners of the Yperm have swapped, these two, and this edge has swapped with this edge down here. Now let's say you're trying to do L, which is this one right here, I, J, K, L. This is one of the more tricky ones, because to get it up to the swap spot, which is up here, the easy thing to do would be to just make an L prime move. But if you do that, you break the corner of the Yperm. And so then if you do a Yperm from here, you're going to screw up the corners. So you have to preserve this corner up here while bringing this here. To do that, I take this corner, I hide it to this side by doing a back prime move. So now the corner is back here. I'm going to bring up this edge, just like I want it to. And now the corner that I hid on this side, I just bring it back. So now everything's a mess, but ignoring that, the pieces of the Yperm, well, these are still the two corners of the Yperm, so they're still going to swap with each other. So that cycle is going to keep going on, that's fine. And now we see that these are the two pieces we wanted to swap together. So we just use a Yperm again. We've swapped these two. And now we undo the setup move. So again, you hide that with a back move. Bring this back down and unhide. So now these two have swapped. Alright, now let's do it back forward with the memorization. So we look in the buffer and we ask ourselves, where does this need to go? Well, it goes to L. And then this one, where does this one need to go? It needs to go to V. That's down here. So our memorization is LV. Again, to get the L, it would be easy to just bring it up, swap the two edges, and then bring it back down. But then we're going to mess up the corners. So we have to make sure to preserve these two corners while bringing this up here. So we hide the corner in the back, bring up the edge, bring back the corner. So now we're going to be swapping these two and these two with a Yperm. Boom. And then V is the easy one. You just 1, 2. And undo your setup move.